You've seen it 100 times. Your dog reaches out and places their paw on your arm, your leg, your hand, and you probably think you know what it means. Affection, right? Maybe they want attention. Maybe they just like the warmth of your skin. That's the obvious answer. And honestly, it's not completely wrong, but it's missing something. It's missing the part that changes how you see your dog entirely, because what researchers who study canine behavior have found is that this gesture is far more layered than most owners ever realize. It is not just a reach, it is a statement. And by the time you get to point 5, you're going to understand something about this behavior that will genuinely shift the way you look at your dog every time they do it. 1. The paw on you is one of the most deliberate forms of physical communication your dog has. Most people interpret this as a random, impulsive act. The dog wants something, so they reach out. It's almost like a tap on the shoulder. Innocent, simple, reactive. But that reading undersells what's actually happening in your dog's mind and body when they make that move. Dogs don't have hands. They can't point, can't tap a screen, can't leave a note. What they have is their body, and within that, their paws are one of their most precise physical tools. Studies on canine body language have shown that dogs are highly deliberate in how and when they make physical contact with the humans they're bonded to. The placement, the pressure, the timing, none of it is random. Your dog has learned, through repetition and your reactions, exactly what that paw does when it lands on you. What this means for you is that every time your dog reaches out, they are making a choice, not acting on impulse, choosing you in that moment as the being they want to connect with. That is not instinct running on autopilot. That is preference, lived out through touch. A paw placed on you is a sentence, and your dog has been writing it their whole life. 2. A paw placed on you during a moment of stress or uncertainty is not a demand. It is an act of mutual reassurance, and your dog may be trying to comfort you just as much as themselves. The common assumption here is that a dog who paws at you when something's off is seeking reassurance from you. They're scared, they want comfort, so they reach out. And yes, that is part of it. But scientists who study the canine stress response have found something that flips this reading on its head. Dogs can detect changes in human cortisol levels, the hormone most closely associated with stress, through scent alone. Studies on how dogs respond to human emotional states have shown that when your stress rises, your dog knows before you've said a word or changed your posture. And what bonded dogs do with that knowledge is remarkable. They don't just react to your stress, they try to do something about it. The physical contact of a paw placed on you during a stressful moment has been shown in behavioral studies to be a form of bidirectional soothing. Your dog is grounding themselves, yes, but they are also grounding you. Your dog cannot ask if you're okay, but they can press their paw against your hand and hold it there. And in that gesture, there is a form of care that requires no words at all. A dog who reaches for you in your hardest moments has decided you are worth staying close to. That is not instinct. That is loyalty. 3. The pressure and duration of the paw contact carries its own specific meaning, and most owners have never been taught to read it. We tend to treat this gesture as a single, uniform thing. Dog puts paw on you, dog wants something. But the way your dog places their paw is actually a nuanced signal system, and the differences matter. A quick, light tap, followed by immediate eye contact, is almost always a direct request. Food, a walk, your attention diverted away from your phone and back to them. It's conversational, functional. It means, I need something, and I believe you can give it to me. A heavy, sustained press, where your dog places their paw and holds it there, often without looking directly at you, is something else entirely. Behavioral researchers describe this kind of contact as affiliative, meaning it exists for the bond itself, not for a transaction. Your dog isn't asking for anything, they are simply choosing to be in contact with you. And the weight of that paw, the steadiness of it, is them leaning into the relationship. One kind of touch says, help me. The other kind says, I just want to be near you. Learning to feel the difference is one of the quietest, most meaningful ways to understand what your dog is actually saying. 4. This is the one. This is the behavior that researchers describe as uniquely bonded, and it is almost never what owners expect it to be. Your dog pawing at you in the middle of the night, or in a moment of total stillness, with nothing to ask for and nowhere to be. Owners often explain away nighttime paw contact as the dog being restless or cold or wanting to move to a different spot. Daytime stillness pawing gets written off as the dog being bored, but canine sleep and rest behavior studies tell a different story. Dogs in deep social bonds with their humans will make spontaneous, unprompted physical contact during rest periods, not to wake you, not to ask for anything, but to verify proximity, to confirm in the most physical way possible that you are still there. This traces back to pack behavior at its most ancient level, but in a bonded domestic dog, it has transformed into something that looks a lot more like what we would call need. Your dog, in the dark, in the quiet, reaches for you. Not because they want something from you, because they want you. The distinction is everything. A dog who finds you in the stillness is a dog who has built their sense of safety around your presence. You are not just their owner, you are their anchor. 5. When a dog paws at a stranger or a new person in the home, it looks identical to when they paw at you, but the motivation is completely different, and understanding this will help you see just how specific this gesture is when they aim it at you. Most people assume that dogs who paw at strangers are friendly, social dogs who just love people in general, and sometimes that's true. But behavioral studies on how dogs initiate contact with unfamiliar humans reveal something more specific. Dogs use pawing with new people primarily as an information-gathering behavior. They are checking scent, testing reaction, reading the response to determine if this person is safe, interesting, or worth engaging further. It is more probe than greeting. It is not a greeting between two beings who are still figuring each other out. It is a gesture between two beings who already have. Strangers get a paw because dogs are curious. You get a paw because your dog knows exactly who you are. 6. As dogs age, the way they use their paw to reach for you changes, and those changes are one of the clearest windows into their emotional and physical state. When your dog paws at you, none of that probing is happening. The question of who you are was answered a long time ago. What your dog is expressing when they reach for you specifically is the result of a history between you. Every walk, every meal, every time you stayed close when they were scared, all of that is stored somewhere in your dog, and the paw is one of the ways it comes out. Young dogs paw with energy and frequency. It can feel almost demanding, a constant tap, tap, tap for engagement, play, food, stimulation. Owners often try to train this out of them, which makes sense in context. But as dogs move into their adult years, and especially into their senior phase, the paw reach becomes something quieter and more deliberate. Research on behavioral changes in aging dogs has found that older dogs who are securely bonded to their owners seek more passive physical contact over time. Not less contact, more, but slower, softer, longer. A senior dog who rests their paw on your leg while you sit together is not being lazy or sedentary. They are telling you, with every bit of the vocabulary they have, that closeness with you is one of the things that still feels good, that you are still the person they want to be near. Veterinary behaviorists note that sustained gentle touch between aging dogs and their bonded humans has measurable calming effects on heart rate and respiration in both. An old dog reaching for you slowly is not asking for less. They are finally able to ask for exactly what they always wanted. 7. The direction of your dog's gaze when they paw at you is a separate signal entirely, and reading both together gives you the fullest picture of what they're trying to tell you. It is not a stare, it is a gaze. And when a dog holds your gaze while also touching you, both oxytocin and cortisol levels in both dog and human have been shown to shift in studies on the human-dog bond. This is the chemical signature of connection. A paw with averted or unfocused eyes, on the other hand, often signals physical discomfort, disorientation, or a need for grounding rather than connection. Same gesture, completely different conversation. When your dog paws at you and holds your eyes, something real is passing between you. Science has a word for it, so does everyone else. We just call it love. 8. Dogs who have experienced loss, rehoming, or early social disruption often use the paw reach with unusual frequency or intensity, and it reveals exactly what they are searching for. Owners of rescued dogs sometimes worry that their dog's constant pawing is a sign of anxiety or behavioral problems. And while that can be true in some cases, behavioral specialists who work with dogs from difficult backgrounds describe something more specific. They call it proximity seeking. And in dogs who have lost stable attachment figures, it shows up as an intensified version of what secure dogs do naturally. Calm responses to this kind of contact. Not pulling away, not punishing, just receiving. Dogs can gradually rebuild a secure attachment model over weeks and months. A rescued dog who paws at you is not broken. They are just still learning that you are the kind of person worth trusting. And every time you let them reach for you, you are teaching them that they were right. Your dog has never had the words to tell you what you mean to them. They have never been able to sit across from you and explain the shape of what they feel. What they have is their body, their eyes, the weight of a paw placed against your skin at exactly the moment they need to say something. Every behavior in this video, the tap, the hold, the reach in the dark, The gaze that won't let go is the same thing said different ways. It is your dog pointing at you across the space between two very different kinds of creatures and saying, "You are the one I chose." That is not an accident. That is not instinct running its default program. That is a specific living thing that grew between you, one moment of contact at a time.